Hello, hi. Um, I took my test on March 4th,
Okay.
and I went in very nervous. I actually graduated from school in 2017. I had taken the test two previous times and failed. I had test anxiety really bad. And so I went into the first two tests thinking that if I answered all of these different questions from all of these different programs and books, that I would do really well. That wasn't the case.
Mm.
So this time I actually went in with the whole like another direction. So I
Okay.
decided to do what you suggested, and that was to really learn content and not worry about answering questions.
Nice.
Um, I purchased the V2. I purchased it for 90 days.
Okay.
However, I have to say I'm a bit of a procrastinator. So
Uh-oh.
for the first like 40 days, I didn't study the way I was supposed to. And as I was approaching the 30 days, I said, okay, Sharnette, you have to get serious about this. It's now time. And then I began to study every day for 3 hours a day, as you suggested. Um, I learn a few different ways. So I like to hear things, I like to see things, and I like to write things.
I
So I
got you.
began to listen to your lecture. I began to make some note cards. And then I would listen to the lecture, make my cards, and listen again.
Got it.
So if there was a lecture that would take 25 minutes, it would take me an hour to get through that lecture.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
I also studied quick facts.
Love that. Yeah.
And so as I was going through the lecture, I would try to, I definitely went by your study guide
Yeah.
when you would say, okay, do this week, do this time. So I would go through that. And honestly, I'm going to be real honest. In the question bank, I only answered 184 questions because I was determined not to get into that whole thing with answering questions. I really wanted to learn the information.
Oh my goodness. Did you feel like when you were studying that you had less anxiety? Did you how did you deal with that as well? Because you studied the content. How did you deal with your anxiety?
Okay. So I honestly started to pray. Whenever I would study, I would pray. But when I got to the testing center, I showed up an hour ahead of time.
Yeah.
I did not try to study before I went in. I didn't cram the night before. I made sure that I got proper sleep. I just kept really declaring and decreeing to myself that I knew the information and that now was time. Now is the time to pass. You're going to pass. I took all those negative thoughts out of my head and just
Yeah.
began to be very positive. And I just kept telling myself to take your time. So I got 133 questions, and it did take me 4 hours to do those
Okay.
questions.
That's all
Yeah.
right. All right. You took your time and you did
Mm-hmm.
it your way.